Everybody, how's it going? Greetings from my car. I don't know, I have the worst time trying to figure out where to put my phone in the house to figure out where to record anything. It's loud, and then I get home and I start drinking coffee and eating things, and I was gonna make this video, and I just pulled up. I just got back from I do yoga every day. I love it's a type of yoga called booty yoga, but I actually get to go to the studio on Thursdays because I have a class at a time I can go. So I just got back from that and I don't know, been like bumbling around cleaning the house, and my dad's coming and we have exciting things, and I don't know, one of the exciting things, if you're in my Facebook group I just posted about, we are, Dee Dee, my youngest, y'all, if you follow me, probably know Dee Dee because she's ridiculous. She's a handful. So anyhow, Dee Dee really, really wants a lovebird, and or some sort of bird. She wants like a little bird pet, and I know I've been sharing pictures of, my parrot. I got an African gray for my 13th birthday because I was like the crazy bird kid. And previous to getting him, which we still have him, clearly, I just posted a picture of him. We had lovebirds and cockatiels when I was little. And so I definitely, I was that kid. I wrote a letter to Irene Pepperberg, who was the, I don't know, she was like some doctor who did all the speech research with Alex, the African gray parrot. So anyhow, I was so nerdy, I actually wrote this lady and the parrot, whose name I remember, it was Alex. My eyeliner's being weird. Letter. And so Dee Dee, who is so much like me, no surprise, really wants a small pet bird now. Because we still have the parrot, but he loves my husband. He's cool with me, and he's cool with the kids, but, he's not a snuggly little, play with the kids bird. So I promise where I'm going with this tangent. What I wanted to talk about with everybody was kind of a fiber business / small business cottage industry tangent, I guess. I don't know, it's been on my head a lot here lately because we have been randomly looking at birds, and if my post the other day, I really meant the one where we had a weird teacher work day, and I don't know, I'm definitely I'm a scheduled person, and you kind of have to be, if you work from home, you have to be very regimented and self-motivated, self-starting, kind of person, and I am that kind of person, believe it or not. And so I have a very hard time when something like a weird teacher work day, or here lately, not so much lately, but all of last year, I really struggled with, as a lot of people did, the whole kids in and out of school, and virtual school, and it was a mess, and we really struggled with it. And so I have to fight my natural tendency to, when we have a teacher work day sort of thing that I'm not expecting, and I'm expecting to be working, to not stress out about that. And so I was very proud of myself that instead of stressing out about that, I I just chose to see it as a fortunate thing of how fortunate I was, because I am, that I could just stay home and we could just have fun, and we could go eat donuts and go to a park, and all the silly stuff. And I did still get some work. I think I got an email sent out, or scheduled at least, that, I wanted to. And I did still get stuff done. Not as much as I would like to, because there's always a laundry list of things that need to be done, and people that need to be emailed back, and pictures that need to be edited. And that's not even touching dinner that needs to be cooked, and scary dust bunnies rolling across the floor, and laundry. Oh my God, laundry. And none of that even touched that. But I am so grateful, and I guess that's what I wanted this video to be about, because I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make more of an effort of making actual content, was through having my own business, which in this case is a fiber arts business, and it does have the silly name. I know it has the silly name. I'm sitting here looking at it above my head. Crafty Housewife Yarns, and which was totally just started as a joke. This business was never really supposed to be a business, which is why it's extra great. But it is definitely, I mean, I still have children and a husband and a house and, you know, other things that I do like yoga and silly pants, clearly. And I think I'm just so grateful. I am grateful for the flexibility and the opportunity, and I'm grateful that my kid randomly wants a bird, and I'm in a position because of my work that I know it's not going to, you know, I'd be like, all right, I mean, like, birds aren't cheap. We're trying to decide between a cockatiel and a lovebird. I had both when I was a kid, so I even had to call my mom and was like, hey, do you have any better memories of these than I did? Because, you know, I was like, I loved them both. I'm having a hard time deciding. So please weigh in if you have any cockatiel versus lovebird decisions, and I will post. Like I said, okay, so the three choices are, because I'm sure you all really care, is we went and looked. So we've been going and looking at these silly birds to get a feel of them with Dee Dee, and there are baby lovebirds that are going to be hand fed, but it's going to be like forever before we can actually pick them up. And they're the most expensive because they're, you know, being spoiled around the clock, I guess. And then there are cockatiels, which are babies. They're young birds, but, you know, they're ready to come home, which Dee Dee already fell in love with one of those. But I kind of had my heart set on a lovebird because they have such funny little personalities. And Dee Dee has such funny little personalities. So I was like, that'll work. And then apparently there are also, and we haven't met these yet, so we're going to go meet them on Saturday, lovebirds that are babies, but they're like older babies, like they could come home. But they were raised by their parents, not like hand raised. So I don't know, we need to go see what their personality is, because clearly I want one that's good for my kid, but then I don't think any of ours were like hand raised, and they were all cool, so that's what's going on. But I don't know, my point, like I said, so I guess it's just been on my head here lately, or my heart, my head, whichever, one of the two. Just how grateful I am. And so I think, I mean, not just like, clearly thank you for, you know, supporting our business, but I think money's an important thing to talk about. And I don't like talking about money. I was definitely raised, you know, very like, you don't talk about money, politics, or religion. And I am still very much that way. Now I'm trying to get better about it. But it's important to buy from people who are small businesses or company, even bigger businesses. Like I love Grove.co. I get all my like cleaning stuff and even like shampoos and, you know, scrubby sponges, like all the things from them, because I like what they stand for. So I mean, I don't even just mean like small businesses like ours. Like I sell Spinolution spinning wheels because I love Spinolution, the company, and the spinning wheels, you know, like that's why I'm a dealer for Spinolution. That's why I have Spinolutions. I had a Lewitt. I liked the Lewitt. It was cool. I will be thankful I learned to spin. Fell in love with Spinolution wheels, and I fell in love with the company and what they do, and I like that they're kind of crazy, and I like that they innovate all the time, and I like that kind of drives people nuts, and I love that does not stop them at all, and I love I think that's great. And I love all of their American, you know, it's American Baltic birch, it's American company, it's made in California and Washington State, like so many things that were so just like in line with what we were already doing. And I mean, same thing with Gallery Yarns. I think we all know the whole Crafty Housewife Yarn staff. Like a major crush. We have like a major crush on Gallery Yarns. But also Satari, which is the other, because I always, and it's really funny. That's the one thing, my pro tip of the day. If you are trying to start your own business, fiber arts related or not, is you will start and you will be like, I'm only selling hand spun yarn. Actually, you will start and you will be like, I'm gonna sell things that are hand knit. That's my thing. I'm gonna sell hats. And then that'll slowly change into like, oh, actually now I'm selling yarn and hats. And then that'll change into, well, I'm more into the yarn. So then that becomes what you're doing. And then, you know, it always evolves. And so then for a long time, for a long part of our business, we were hand spun only, and it was pretty much one, you know, unique, one of a kind yarns, which I thought I was like, well, that's the jam. Like, that's it, like, I have an art background where I was selling like fine art paintings. So I'm like, well, that's the thing. Like, you want the fine art painting that there's just one of. You don't want like prints, I mean, you want prints, but like, I was in a fine art market. So I was like, well, one of a kind, that's what you want. And then I started realizing that I was the only person who was really into one-of-a-kind yarn. Everybody else wanted yarn that you could get multiple skeins for, of course, duh, because you want to make larger projects, or you want to get more, or you want to make your sister some mittens, whatever. So then we moved into doing collections, and then we were like, well, we're not ever going to do mill-spun yarn because, we're hand-spun yarn. And... and then things grew and we couldn't keep up totally with hand-spun yarn. Trust me, we tried. And that's how we got into selling the mill-spun yarn. And then that led to working with companies. And those are our two faves at the moment, but we have worked with others. And I'm sure we'll work with more. And, we're always exploring that. But you can't ever just, like, draw a line in the sand. But one line in the sand I have drawn and I'm very passionate about is only working and supporting and buying from, because it's like you get to vote with your money, like where you want to put that towards and what your values are. And it does make a big impact for people. So all of my stories about birds and donuts all those stories were stories to illustrate that, we're a legit business. Like, we do all the business stuff, and we got all the right documentation. And we have about a team of 5 contract employees, and everybody does different things. But we are still a small business, but it makes me happy. I never in a million years, because, like, the whole goal is to make money and keep the money. I never in a million years would have thought, like yesterday, I was paying some of the staff, going through timesheets and stuff. And, like, instead of being like, oh, I gotta go pay people, I was like laughing at myself, because I was like, oh boy, I get to send Heidi money. Great. Like, I was so thankful that we'd made money and I got to send somebody else money. And I just thought that was a hoot. And that was like a big personal growth moment for me. So, it's important, and it helps afford people to be able to do things like have flexibility with their families and have randomly buy birds. So I promise I'll wrap this up. But I just wanted, like I said, that was what was on my heart about what I loved about the, the fiber arts and small businesses. And I personally feel like, so I'm very passionate about small business, and I'm very passionate about, and I'm not trying to like exclude men, but sometimes I feel like men's lives are just like more simple, and I'm not like my husband, he works incredibly hard. He's incredibly smart. He's my favorite person, but I'm handling all the crazy, like, teacher workday stuff, kid drama stuff, like the good stuff and the bad stuff. Like, it's good and bad, but it's like a pile of spaghetti. And I feel like that's how all the women I know, we're all trying to like sort through a pile of spaghetti. And men just kind of like wake up and are like, okay, well, I gotta go to work. And they might have a good day, they might have a bad day, but like they had one thing they were doing. So it's just kind of a different, at least from what I've seen, it's kind of a different thing. And I think the fiber arts is really unique because historically, to me, the fiber arts, and I might be totally making this up, but in my imagination, I feel like that was historically one of the first ways women could really run a household and have income coming in for what they wanted to put money towards. And I've written stuff on this before. I don't know, I'll have to go fish it out somewhere. But, lots of different cultures, lots of different ways. The Bible, everywhere, it was one of the selling your goods, processing your sheep wool, selling your yarn if you were a spinner. People that carried around distaffs and spindles everywhere and like made yarn to like legitimately clothe their households, or then sell that. So, I mean, to me, I guess women's industry and cottage industry and the fiber arts, whether it's knitting, crochet, spinning, farming, dyeing, whatever it is, to me, those things are very intermingled. So, my rant about supporting small businesses and the direct impact that can make, to me, is also very much a rant about the fiber arts, even though I know that you can also do those things with like photography or, you know, I don't know. I know people that do all sorts of things. Jewelry making. It was just the fiber arts that did it for me. So anyhow, I'm hungry. I gotta go eat something. But I was wanting to record this video while I was thinking about it because I do have a goal to... I'm really bad about getting lost in all the, like, you know, making of the things and the sending of the emails and the check, you know. So we do have people, I mean, you could get lost all day just checking in on people to see who needs more supplies. Actually, I had to hire somebody to help me do that because I was bad at it. So one of my, it's not quite New Year's resolution is to make more content. So that's what I'm doing. So anyhow, I hope you're having a good day and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.